All right, look at all these, look at all this red in this room here. This is looking pretty good, pretty good. My name is Charles Miller. I'm one of the instructors that have worked with this fine group of people in the front here that are professional truck drivers. So I need to talk into this. Looking at all these new professional truck drivers sitting in the front row here, it's really good stuff. One of the assignments that was introduced early in the class was that these people up here in front, these truck drivers, had to work in groups, which was not always easy. And they worked with these groups all throughout the class. And one of the assignments they were given was to do a trip plan. So we're going to go through that. And hopefully everybody in this room will learn something new about how one has to travel across the country or make a whole week of stops to provide themselves a paycheck and to satisfy their employer that they know what they're doing. So the first group is going to come up here, Blake and Bradley and Vinny and Brian, if they could just come up here and walk us through this group, through this slide presentation. Can you guys do that? Please? We appreciate you guys. So again, these are not public speakers, they're truck drivers, and they've worked really hard on this, so to get from Allenton, Wisconsin back to it. So, okay, so whoever wants to fight over the microphone first can do it. Are these on a, do you have a clicker?
Oh. So in the beginning of our trip, we're going to arrive at Kreilkamp, which is at 6487 Highway 175, Allenton, Wisconsin. Upon our arrival at Kreilkamp at 4 a.m., one of our first things that must happen is that we log into our ELDs as on duty, not driving, for our pre-trip on our truck and trailer. This process takes about 15 minutes. After this is complete, we also included the fueling of our truck before going on the road, which will take another 15 minutes, which will go off duty on our ELD. We also would get our load weighed as well, which is there's a weigh station at Kreilkamp in Wisconsin. So total time is only 15 minutes towards our 14-hour day, which will put us on the road by 4:30. Our route of travel will be from Route 41 to 894 to Interstate 80.
The ELD is called, it stands for the electronic logging device, which is a unique way of tracking our time and stopping, etc. So upon our arrival at first stop is to be at 7:30 a.m. arriving to the TA station, route number 219 in Indiana, a truck stop approximately 3 hours away from Kreilkamp. In our travel, we would come through one weigh station, which we are at all proper weight requirements. The reason for the stop is for our required 30-minute break, but as well as load securement check. Both these action will be taken in an off-duty status in our ELD. So we log off, take our half-hour break. Our departure from this location will be at 8 a.m. on the Interstate 80. So our total distance traveled so far would be 165 miles and 3 hours distance from Kreilkamp.
All right. Our departure from Lake Station will only take us to Du Bois, as we are coming close to our federally mandated 11-hour driving limit. Here we have to take our 10-hour reset before we can depart again to our destination in New Jersey. Our time of arrival will be at 2:30 p.m. Total mileage is 637, and the drive time is 7 hours and 30 minutes.
All right, so day 2, we're gonna depart from Du Bois to Edison, New Jersey. We're gonna depart at Tuesday at 12 a.m. And then our destination is gonna be Kreilkamp and Edison. So our arrival time is gonna be 5:30 a.m. The total mile is gonna be 921 miles from Du Bois, PA. And total hours of travel is going to be 5 hours for total from PA to New Jersey.
Arrival to our first destination at 20 Executive Drive, Edison, New Jersey. Upon arrival to Kreilkamp in Edison, New Jersey at 5:30 a.m., our dispatcher has us dropping a trailer at this location and picking up an empty trailer to our new location. In Edison, there is a couple things that we must do before we head on the road. First is our pre-trip of new trailer to make sure everything is working properly. On duty in ELD. The second action is refueling off duty in ELD. We will also be taking a 30-minute break. Our leaving time will be at 6:30 a.m.
To this destination, it will take 1 hour to our destination at 7:30 a.m. Here at Western Carriers, we're dropping off our empty trailer and hooking up to another one. Once hooked up to a new trailer, we would do a pre-trip of the trailer before leaving to our next destination. Total travel, 953 miles, time 1 hour.
All right, then we will leave Western Carriers and head to Circle K, which is a truck stop. Due to how close we are getting with our driving regulation limit, we have to pull off the road for a mandatory 10 hours. Our arrival will be at 1 p.m. We will also do a post trip at the stop. Our total distance into our trip so far is 1,200 miles, and this will take us 5 hours.
So this is the third day on the road. We're gonna leave Cycle K to XO Warehouse and Route 1494, which is New Hampshire. We're gonna depart Wednesday, 11 p.m. We're gonna be departing from Cycle K to XL Warehouse. Our arrival time is gonna be 11:45 p.m. to unload the trailer at XL Warehouse, which will take an hour to complete, and total distance is 1235 miles, and it's only take us 1 hour to get there.
From Excel Warehouse in New Hampshire to B&J in Ayer, Massachusetts. After we are finished unloading at Excel, we will be heading to a B&J at 12:45 a.m. And B&J is about an hour and 15 minutes drive, which has us arriving at 2 a.m. Or our next step would be getting unloaded, but we'd also take a break in that time, as well for 30 minutes. Both will be logged in for ELD as off duty. Our total distance is 1,294 miles, and our time to destination from Excel is 1 hour and 15 minutes.
B&J Ayer, Massachusetts, Give and Go, Yaphank, New York. Our departure from B&J's would be at 3 a.m. Our drive time to our next location, which is Give and Go in Yaphank, New York. Our time of travel is 5 hours, 45 minutes, which puts our time of travel in New York at 8:45 a.m. Here we have to unload, and it takes 1 hour to complete this process, where we would log off to go off duty as we wait to be unloaded. Total distance from Kreilkamp in Wisconsin, 16 miles and 45 minutes.
Okay, now we're going from New York back to Kreilkamp in New Jersey. So after we unload, our next destination is going back to Kreilkamp. We'll be leaving Give and Go at 9:45 a.m. Our drive time from New York to New Jersey would be 3 hours, and our arrival time would be at 12:45 a.m. When we arrive at Kreilkamp, we are going to take our mandatory 10-hour reset and fuel our trucks for the next stop. So far, 1,675 miles total.
So now we are at Kreilkamp, New Jersey. When our 10-hour racing is over, we're still gonna be on Wednesday night, 10:45 p.m. We're going to Fly J Milton in PA, which that's a truck stop. Since there's a new trailer we have to pick up, we had to do a pre-trip on our new trailer to make sure it is in working order. We will also take 15 minutes to fuel in our truck, and before we go down the road, we're gonna do to a local Cascale in Edison, New Jersey, to get waiter 19-1 Sports System Plaza, Bordentown, New Jersey. So our total time will be 30 minutes, and we will be on the road by 11:15 p.m. Our drive time to Fly J in Milton, PA, will be 3 hours and 50 minutes, and we were at 2:30 a.m. Thursday morning. Total distance is 1,852 miles. Time to destination from Kreilkamp, New Jersey, 3 hours and 50 minutes.
From Flying J Milton, Pennsylvania to TA station at St. Petro, Angola in Indiana. At Flying J, we had taken our 30-minute break as required by the federal government. Our departure time from Flying J's is 3 a.m. Our drive time is 7 hours and 15 minutes, and our arrival time to TA station Petro, Angola in Indiana is 10:45 a.m. Our purpose of the stop here is because we are getting close to running out of our time for our driving time limit for the day. Our total distance so far is 2,318 miles, and the time destination from Flying J Milton, Pennsylvania is 7 hours and 15 minutes.
On Thursday night, we have a departure plan to leave at 8:15 p.m. and our destination is to John Deere in Horicon, Wisconsin. Our drive time is 5 hours, 45 minutes, and our arrival time is 2 a.m. on Friday to John Deere. When we show up to John Deere, it will take us 1 hour to be unloaded, so we would be able to leave John Deere by 3 a.m.
And then to complete our trip, we are going from John Deere and Horicon back to Kreilkamp in Arlington. We're leaving at 3 a.m. from John Deere, and we're heading to Arlington, which is a 30-minute drive, and we'll be arriving at 3:30 a.m. We will do our post-trip inspection and fill out our DVIR to review our truck and trailer to see any damage or if the vehicle needs to be serviced, and we would bring it through the inspection bay at Kreilkamp as our ELD is logged as on duty, not driving. Once our inspection is done and we are parked in the yard, we will go off duty and our day will be done at 4 a.m. Friday for us to take our 34-hour reset. Total mileage is 2646 and the time traveled is 30 minutes.
Our trip summary, the total miles of the trip was 2,646 miles. Total amount of hours was 54 hours and 15 minutes. This project for our group was definitely a test of our abilities to map out a route that is quick and efficient to get from one destination to another. We have learned throughout this project is how to efficiently save valuable time on our 14 hours on duty work in a single day, work day. So at the end of our week, you still have time to work on the weekend before your 70 hours up for the week. This allows you to make even more money if your trip planning is very accurate and well thought out.
Thank you. Did you guys learn something? So are you going to use this when you recruit new drivers now? Okay, you can refer them to them if somebody has any questions of what a week at Kreilkamp looks like. Okay, so now we have the next group coming up. And at the end, I'm going to just say, well, I'll say it right now. I'm just impressed with everyone in this operation that you guys learned all this stuff. So who is on this group? Because I don't see any. Well, yes, you are. No, they didn't leave. Come on up here. Everybody that's supposed to be up here, come on. No time to be bashful. And I really appreciate the young people in the room too. So just this is going to be a great future for them. That somebody in your family is employed at Kreilkamp and providing this income. So this is good stuff. Okay.
Hello, folks. First of all, our group was kind of put together with a couple different groups. So,
Yeah, you can share.
I mean, the first ones came up. We always call them our super truckers because they got the stuff real well and they're young and full of and vinegar. So it was a challenge in class to kind of watch these guys, these young bucks and young gals that knew what they're talking about. So for some of us, it was a little bit more challenging. We are a little bit older and have a few more kids and been married a few more years and things like that. So ours is not as elaborate. And I do, Vinny, I didn't give you permission to use my picture. I didn't sign off on that. And some of you people saw that. Who's that old guy back there behind the? Well, oh yeah, okay, well. But anyways, it's just, each day in class, I mean, we learned so much more. Stan and Charlie did an awesome job. I mean, this is put together quick and we all came together as a class and we learned from each other and we learned from these guys and the stories and everything went about with this class was top notch. And Tim, to you, your credit, putting this together from top to bottom was just a great thing for us, or as myself as a elder statesman, to kind of just get through this as a group. And I'm very proud of all the guys and gals that I did it with. And so this is kind of a precursor to why ours isn't as pretty as the group before us. So I do kind of want to apologize a little bit, but KK, you're up.
You want to get there.
All right, we're going to get to.
So first trip is going to go to, we're going to be leaving from Wisconsin to New Jersey. And I actually wanted to take the first part because, one, the first part of this trip is actually the Midwest regional route. So it goes through most of my towns. So we're starting our day one, 4 a.m. on a Monday. Oh. We're at Kreilkamp in Allenton, Wisconsin. We get there, we log on duty for a 15-minute pre-trip. I would say about 30 minutes because we do have to weigh the load and make sure everything is accurate. So another thing, I know these directions are out of whack, but this is basically our directions here. I'm not gonna read left, right, circle, roundabout. But yeah, it's main highways. I might say the main highways to get there. So we'll log on duty, not driving, for our pre-trip. And then after our pre-trip and us stopping at the weigh scale, we'll go on duty to driving, logging on to our ELDs. All right, so, we'll start off on, I guess you could say Highway 175 to 33. There's a lot of back roads here. On the way to Indiana. So for the most part, we would be on a lot of these highways for a few hours before we get to Plymouth, Indiana, which is where we would stop at a pilot truck stop for our 30-minute break. So that would be about 4 hours, 45 minutes, which is 228 miles long. So we will log off duty in Plymouth and then log back on duty driving at 9:30 a.m. So then we'll go to our pilot in Pennsylvania. I don't know how to pronounce that city. I'm not going to say I do. That would be where we do our 10-hour break, our 10-hour reset. So it'd be 6 hours, which puts us about 15 minutes before that 11-hour drive time that we have to stop. So the total miles for that would be 386 miles. So getting to Pennsylvania, it's on duty for a while. So day 2, after the 10-hour reset, we will log on, get coffee, freshen up, wake up, and then we do another pre-trip. Just basically checking the trailer, making sure everything is properly functioning. Then we would go logging on duty driving at 2 a.m. So then we will continue our destination, arriving at Kreilkamp Trucking Company in Edison, New Jersey. And we should arrive there at 7:45 a.m. That is a drop and hook, so there's not really much time spent there. But that total trip should take 5 hours, 5 minutes, 348 miles. So we're doing a 30-minute drop and hook, 15 minutes to inspect the empty trailer. Back on the road at 8:30 a.m. And then we would also get fuel up at Kreilkamp in New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry, I guess I was talking a little loud there. Thank you, Blake. Yep, 9 o'clock. We're on driving duty. Drive 32 miles and arrive at Western Carriers, 2500 171st Street in North Bergen, New Jersey at 10 a.m. Drop and hook, inspect the new trailer. 10:45, start heading to the next destination, XL Warehouse in New Hampshire. Drive time is 4 hours and 15 minutes, 211 miles, and we'll arrive at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. we'll be arriving at the Gulf Truck Stop in Hoboken, Massachusetts. That's not what it is, but take a 10-hour, we're going to be there and we're going to take a 10-hour break. And then we're going to get up in the morning and do a pre-trip at 1 a.m. for 15 minutes. We'll leave at 1:30 a.m. Next slide, please. Again, we have our routes, which thank you very much for getting that all down. That was a lot of work that we put together. Now we can just figure out how to drive out in the East Coast. It'll be great. So we're going to be arriving at XL Warehouse at 3:30 a.m. In New Hampshire, hour and 45 minutes, 96 miles we traveled. Unload the trailer. An hour, 4:30 a.m. We'll leave, stay on duty, not driving for 15 minutes, off duty for 45 minutes, leave at 5:30 for our next stop at BNJ in Massachusetts. That'd be an hour and 15 minutes, 59 miles. We're going to load our trailer, go off duty for 45 minutes, 30-minute break during our 45-minute break, and on duty for 15 minutes, non-driving while loading. We're going to be leaving at 7:45 a.m. for our next destination. Followed. We're going to be unloading at Give and Go. Yeah, and I'm not going to read that. I guess we're going to have to learn some new terminology. First Block Road, but yeah, it's the next one. Yeah. Fink Road in New York in 5 hours and 45 minutes, traveled 275 miles. Then we're going to be leaving there. You wanna?
All right. No, they're good.
Okay.
So after they unload and all of that at 2 p.m., we've actually reached the drive time and we'll take a 10-hour break. We'll reset. So, day 4. We would leave at Yaphank at 12 a.m. To head back to Kreilkamp at Edison, New Jersey. That takes 3 hours to get to Edison, New Jersey. Once again, that's a drop and hook, so it shouldn't be there too long. So you drop and hook and inspect the new trailer. We should arrive there at 3 a.m. So we should leave around about, if we do everything correctly, 3:45, 4 a.m. So after we leave Edison, New Jersey, time to go back to Wisconsin. Cold Wisconsin. So day 5, we're leaving Kreilkamp at 4 a.m. We're driving on the highway. We'll drive to Brookville, Pennsylvania, about 319 miles, 5.5 hours. And then we will leave at 8:45 back to John Deere. So basically from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin, after you take your 30-minute, you kind of make that trip in an entire day, if you time it just right. Fuel shouldn't be a problem because those trucks go quite a distance. So we go John Deere, and it's a 10-hour, 30-minute drive time. So we would have a 30-minute break. Before we made it to Drive Deere, we would stop for a 30-minute break in South Bend at Speedway. So then we would go off duty, 30-minute break, on duty, back to driving. Okay, so once we get back to John Deere, it's unload, so we would actually stay on the clock for 15 minutes and then go off duty for 45. Save your drive time. So once we're in John Deere, that's in Horicon, Wisconsin. And then we would go back to Allenton, Wisconsin, back to the homeland. And that takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get there on a good day, no traffic. We do a post trip for 15 minutes. And if everything runs good, back at Kreilkamp by 9 p.m. And I don't know about anybody else. I'm not driving on the weekend, and I'm home for 34 hours.
Thank you. Of course, we didn't plan enough time, so we'd like the last group to at least stand up and come up here And we're just going to go like for 10 seconds through each slide that they've put together. So why don't you guys all come up here though, please. You know, sometimes it's good to be last. So we really appreciate all you guys. So let's just watch this together, and then we'll let it open for any questions at the end, and these guys can answer those questions. So think about this, okay? Go ahead, roll it. It's fine. No. Thank you for this. Now these guys, though, I have the tough job. If you have any questions to ask about what it takes to drive for a week in a truck, so we'll just open it up for any questions. Emily, you have a question? No? There, I see somebody. Go ahead. Say something about it. What would you do?
I would take a bike with me out on the road.
Have a healthy diet.
Plenty of rest.
Got plenty of rest.
This is great. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for doing this. Now we're going to transition on to the ceremony and the speakers. So I don't know who's going to, Bonnie's going to take over from here. Thanks a lot, Joanne.
All right. Thank you to all the students. Let's give them one more round of applause for those great trip planning presentations. So hello and welcome, and we have folks out in the lobby as well in our overflow area, and to those folks who are live streaming with us, welcome, and we are happy to have you here with us at Moraine Park. So my name is Joanne Hall. I am the Dean of Economic and Workforce Development and part of the planning crew for what has turned into this amazing experience for these students. So we are thrilled to have you here with us today. We like to say that boot camp graduation is one of the best days at the college. So all of you sitting right here, we are here for you. So today is all about the celebration and the experience and hearing about all of the folks who want to congratulate you and help you step into the next phase of your life journey. You ready? Are you ready? Come on, are you ready? Come on. Woo woo, here we go. So we wanted to take some time today. You're going to hear from a handful of folks who are here to congratulate you and possibly even tell a couple of stories. So the first thing I want to do is introduce to you Bonnie Bearwald, who is the president of Moraine Park, who has a few words for you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to participate and help you celebrate today. We're very excited for this actually historic event, I call it. I just want to share a few thanks. And first, I'd like to thank Tim Kreilkamp. About a year ago, I would say, Tim connected with some of us at Moraine Park and our leadership team, and he shared a vision of creating a brand new partnership with the college to start a truck driving school. Now, normally, if you don't know anything about academics, that's probably a 5-year process. But Tim did more than discuss his vision. He actually created, in about 9 months, a very unique private-public partnership, which has now become a new model that other industries are trying to emulate. He invested heavily into a bold but needed solution, and with his foresight and determination, we now celebrate the first graduating class of the Wisconsin Regional Truck Driving Academy. And it is our hope, thank you. Thanks, Tim. And it is our hope that this model and the first graduating class will create a working solution to fill the talent gap in the truck driving industry for a long time coming. So thank you, Tim, and your entire leadership team for believing in Moraine Park and allowing us the opportunity to serve you. To family members, friends, colleagues, legislative supporters, thank you for your trust and your unwavering support in helping us build and sustain this partnership. We are forever grateful. And we certainly want to thank you for your services and commitment to the success of this program and the training of these graduates. And finally, to all of our graduates here that are sitting in the front row with your red shirts, this is a day that's all about you and the celebration that you so eagerly deserve. 8 weeks ago, I'm guessing all of you were strangers from different parts of not only this community, but from around the nation. You were recruited and intrigued with a new opportunity for a new career pathway, or maybe a transition into a new career pathway. And today you are a cohort of individuals who have persevered and completed a very rigorous academic training program, again, in 8 weeks. So today you get to celebrate the next chapter of your life for yourself and certainly for your family. Today, you take the first steps in your continued employment at Kreilkamp Trucking. Today is about you and the recognition you are now prepared to do great things, and we are here to help you celebrate your commitment and hard work. So congratulations to all of you, and may you find your new career pathway journey very rewarding. Thank you again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Bonnie. So as Bonnie mentioned, this was a new partnership for us and a very exciting one. Every one of the folks who are sitting here across the table, I want you to know that this didn't happen from one person, from two people, but it did take a community to bring this project together. So the next thing I'd like to do is introduce, or at least have stand, the folks who have been involved in making this become a reality. So from Moraine Park, I'm going to ask the boot camp team and all the folks from Moraine Park that have been involved, if you could just stand and be recognized. Nikki will wave. For our boot camp team, right? Pete, you can wave, right? And from the Kreilkamp team, if you could stand, please, as well. Stand up, right? Right? Because thank you very much. So it takes a lot to make all of this happen. So I'd also like to introduce our instructors. For those of you that haven't met them before, you guys know them all very well. So Stan and Charlie, who are also new to Moraine Park and helped to join us on this adventure. So wait, right? And then we also have driver assistants who have been with us. So I'm going to ask all of you to stand if you're here as well. Well, they already did. You can stand up again. It's fine. It's all fine, right? So when we talk about it takes a village, right? It takes a village to make some of these things happen. And sometimes, as Bonnie said, these things can take years. And for this experience to happen in less than a year's time is really record speed for all of us. And we are so thrilled to have our inaugural class here. No one will be as special as you. You are the most special. Yeah, you're awesome, right? So with that, I'm going to ask that I'm in charge of this schedule, so I want to make sure that we give Tim time. So as our key partner and brainchild in this endeavor, I'm going to ask Tim Kreilkamp to come up and say a few words.
Well, thank you, everyone. I spent a little time preparing what I was going to say, but apparently Bonnie and Joanne have said everything that I wanted to say. But really what I want to focus on here is two different things. I want to focus on the two teams, and I know we talked about it a little bit and we congratulated the Moraine Park group and the Kreilkamp group. The way they came together, I think, is just outstanding. So I would again like to give everybody a round of applause on both of those teams. And I think what's important, you know, we don't want to take the focus off the students right now, but what's important here is that we will continue this program again and again and again, and this will be repeatable. So we will be able to take students and give them an opportunity that maybe when it wasn't available to them in the past. So I feel really good about that, and I wanted to, again, not take too much time from the students. So this is your day, and we want to make sure that you're recognized properly. So congratulations, and here we go on a new venture, and you'll be driving a truck down the road. So it's exciting, and we're happy to have you. So thank you.
Tim, I think that was the least words I've ever heard you say. I thought you were going to be here for, I thought, oh, well, we'll take a little break here. All right. So next, we want to make sure that you get a chance to hear from our faculty. So Stan and Charlie, I'm not sure which one of you is going to speak. You can both. All right, here we go.
We've talked for 8 weeks, so we don't have a lot to say. Well, maybe I don't have a lot to say, but this opportunity, even for Stan and I to walk into this position and work with you guys, is a real blessing. You guys have affected my life, and it's just great to be able to share all that information that's I've gained over these years and be able to share it with you, and you can use it, and you probably share it with somebody else. I never met Stan before, a week before this class started, and we've grown to work together from day one. And I just appreciate this opportunity at Moraine Park and Tim for putting this together. And we look forward to many more classes like this. So thank you guys for just listening to me, putting up with some of my bad jokes. And I hope you learned a lot and you can remember that. Stan?
I just want to say thank you to the students. What a wonderful first group. As a first-time CDL instructor, I did not know what I was getting into, but this group was fantastic. We grew together, we learned together, and what a wonderful group to be the first group. And I will never forget you guys, how wonderful you were. The laughs we had, even a few tears when we couldn't get it, and I'm sitting there, we'll get this. And every day was a growing day. And this class, I cannot believe how exciting they were to come to school every day. How thrilled they were to drive a semi. And the first day, I told you guys, you're not truck drivers. You're professional drivers now. Anybody can take a truck down the road. There's a lot of stuff behind the scene that you learn, the federal guidelines, the trip planning that you just did. There is so much behind it. So congratulations, you are professional drivers with a CDL card that holds a lot of weight. That was a pun, I didn't think anybody would get that. Some people did. But I wish you the very, very best at Kreilkamp. I had a lot of great years at Kreilkamp. I know everyone will have a lot of great years at Kreilkamp. I wish you the very, very best. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I'm just going to ask a question. So he said he wasn't quite sure what he was getting into. Raise your hand if you're in the front row and you weren't quite sure what you were getting into either. There we go. There we go. But are you glad you did it? Yeah? Awesome. We are glad you did it, right? And when Bonnie says we don't take it lightly when you put your faith and trust in Moraine Park, that is exactly true. We are very humbled that you put the next step of your future in our hands. So know that we are here for you from the start to the finish, and whatever happens to come next. If you need continuing education, we're here for you as well, right? But that's why that boot camp team was around, right? To make sure you had everything that you needed, as well as our folks and friends at Kreilkamp to make sure that whatever you needed to be successful along the way was available to you. This is my favorite part of every one of these ceremonies. Look at that. We always have student speakers who come to share their experience and to represent the class. So I'm not sure which one of you is going first or if you're tag teaming. Oh, they're like, not it. Yeah? Oh, it's alphabetical order. So there you go. No, he's like, I'm not going first. All right, one of you has to go. Come on, come on. So on behalf of our inaugural student class, our very first student speaker.
So good afternoon. I'm Venice Savage. I would like to thank everyone who has taken the time to attend this iconic day for Kreilkamp, but not only for Kreilkamp, but for everyone here who has put in the hard work to be sitting in front of you. For this is not just a piece of paper to feel good, for this is a career, opportunity, and a bond with people 2 months ago we have never ever even known they existed, but worked hard together and created a forever long bond of colleagues and friends. In my journey before attending Kreilkamp, I was fortunate enough to have actually worked and been around on the road before. I was so intrigued with what me and my friend were doing at the time, which was hot shotting, that I fell in love with trucking. But I was also not a newcomer to the ability to drive truck and trailer, just not 80,000 pounds. Of course, trying to find a way for the proper training without destroying half the town trying to drop off some ice cream was in grave concern, as it should be. It's just a great fortunate opportunity that Kreilkamp has been offering this chance to teach the proper setting for how to become not only a driver, but a professional driver. And for that, you couldn't be more grateful for it. For Charlie and Stan will forever live as an example of how this program should properly run, even if everything is out of place and not going the way it should be, especially just meeting a week prior to this class. They definitely showed their dedication and time to this program, and their dedication and time should be an example for what's expected for anybody who attends this class, and for you only to get out of this program what you put into it. So I'd like to thank you both. For my future is yet unclear, not only for a new door that has opened for an opportunity to be a professional driver, and for the high demand for drivers has become you can't, oh boy, sorry, I just wrote this last night. You can't exactly pinpoint where you end up, for the roads are long and windy, but for now I can say I'm a proud employee of Kreilkamp Trucking, so thank you.
All right, Blake. Who was also our, oh, that's all right.
Alrighty, so first, I'd like to thank Kreilkamp for the opportunity. I'd like to thank Stan and Charlie for taking time out of their day and teaching us everything we know. I'd like to thank the adjunct drivers, especially Bruce and Terry, because I didn't drive with the other two, but they taught me a lot. Those guys know just about everything you could know about a truck. Yeah, thank everyone for the opportunity. It was great. New door opened and we got our CDL now.
Man of few words. Oh, he had words. He's just not using them right now. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So the other thing that we wanted to share with you is some of you may or may not know is Kreilkamp Trucking did fund the program in partnership with a grant from the Wisconsin Fast Forward program. So we'd like to thank the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development and their grant funding process as well. That's helping us to fund this program and make it free to all of you. So we always appreciate whenever we can provide those types of activities for individuals. And as Tim says, reduce the barriers to entry so that we can get more folks into this fabulous career. All right, Nikki, are you ready? This is the best, well, second best time. Student speakers are the first best time, right? So now we're going to recognize all of you. I think Nikki's given you the drill, but it's time to hand out certificates. Are you ready? Nikki's going to give you more direction.
Everybody's got their hats on, ready to go. If we could have everybody come up, instructors, Tim, Bonnie, Dr. Eden, you're good. And then students, we're going to call you up one by one. Emily's going to call your name. I'd like you to come this way, shake hands with everybody. I will present your certificate from Moraine Park. Congratulations. Emily will present the keys to the truck that is waiting outside for you guys.
All right, first up, Sarah Bosey. John Brown. Jackie Fisher. Blake Hahn. Paul Lindell. Kanisha McGee. Lee Midkey. Chris O'Brien. Ryan Ozuna. Luis Sandoval. Venice Savage. But not least, Shane Werbelo.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and congratulations to all of our students who have just completed the first cohort of our Truck Driving Academy. Congratulations again. If everybody would like to join us out in the main lobby area, we do have some refreshments available. There's some cake and waters and sodas. And then after a short period of time, the students will be driving off in their trucks. And then, so if everybody would like to head to the lobby for refreshments, that'd be great. Students, we do require a group photo, so please bring your diplomas up, keep your hats on, and come up to the front for a group photo before you join your family and friends out in the lobby. Congratulations.
Thank you.